Good morning, students. Welcome to APS e-learning classes. I'm your English teacher, Richa Dubey. Today we will be doing chapter 3 of our main book, class 10th English book, First Flight, Two Stories About Flying, part 2, The Black Aeroplane. The Black Aeroplane, written by Frederick Forsyth. About the author. Now, the author of The Black Aeroplane is Frederick Forsyth. He was born on 25th of August 1938 and in Ashford in United Kingdoms. His years of service was 1956 to 1958. He made great movies and TV shows. The names are The Day of the Jackal and The Odessa File. He won Edgar Award for Best Novel Cartier Diamond Dagger, and his best play was Love Never Dies. So today we are going to read about his story, The Black Aeroplane. Now, the theme of the story. The story oscillates or shifts between miracle and mystery. The main character of the story is a pilot, and he is flying at night in his old Dakota DS-088 aeroplane to travel from France to England. He dreams of his holiday and looks forward to meet his family. Now he is a pilot. He's gone to England. He's gone to France, and now he's returning. He's returning from France to England, his hometown. And he's very excited to return to his hometown, England, because he wants some rest and he wants some good time with his family. So he is looking forward to meet his family in England. Now, the characters. Now, the main character is the narrator himself. He's an expert pilot. He's a man of sanguine nature. He is a man of immense fortitude and patience. He did not panic and lost hope. He faced troubles and challenges, and he shows his gratitude to others whenever he is given some help. He shows his thankfulness to others by presenting his gratitude whenever anyone gave him some help. So he was a very kind-hearted person. He was very friendly, and he had great patience and tolerance in him as a pilot. And in situations where the times were very hard, he did not panic and he did not lose hope. He always faced challenges and troubles. Second character is the unknown friend who was there in the story but not known who he was. And third character is the woman at the control center. Now, the summary of the story is like this. It was night time when the sky was clear and the stars could be seen twinkling. The narrator, who was flying his Dakota aeroplane, felt happy while he was flying over France to England. He was very happy to meet his family members and to have a good breakfast of his home. It was 1:30 in the morning, and he was fantasizing about holidaying with his family. Now, when you are out for your some excursions or your educational trip or for your studies and all, and when you are returning, you're so happy, you're so excited, and you feel so relaxed that finally you're coming back to your home and you will spend time with your family members. So he was also fantasizing about holidaying with his family, and it was 1:30 in the morning, and he thought, okay, I'll be reaching by 6 and all. I'll reach and I will have a good breakfast with my family members. Now, when the aeroplane was in France, the pilot thought of informing the Paris control personnel about its presence and for instructions. So when these pilots, they have to be in touch with the control room and they have to inform about their his place, location, and everything, and they have to keep on in touch with them. He informed the control agency and they responded with further instructions on directions. They said, fine, now you have to take this direction, then you have to move towards this direction. And the control room at Paris instructed him to turn 12 degrees towards the west. The instructions from the control room was to turn towards the west 12 degrees. After receiving the instructions, the narrator geared up and followed the instructions of the control room and switched over to the second and the last fuel tank. Now, this was the second fuel tank and it was the last fuel tank. After this, the fuel would be over. So, he did not have much time plus much fuel to to reach. All this time he was dreaming about his time with his family, and then he started thinking about having a satisfactory breakfast at home. Now, these pilots, if everything is going on well and smoothly, they become relaxed because the plane was flying at its normal speeds, everything was going fine, nothing, no weather conditions, everything was suitable and favorable. So he was just relaxing and he was dreaming about his time with his family members. And then he thought, I am going to have a satisfactory breakfast at home. He was calm as everything was going as planned. And he was very calm because everything was as it was planned was going on. Now the plane had crossed Paris when he started seeing clouds in the sky. And the plane had crossed Paris, and suddenly what happened? He saw some clouds in the sky. Now he became somewhat uneasy. Oh my god, clouds, that means weather conditions are not good. I may face a problem because clouds means there may be chances of storm. And suddenly what did he see? There was so huge and dark, the clouds, they were so huge and dark, that means it was a storm, that he compared those clouds with the Black Mountains. The storm was so strong that the clouds looked like black mountains. He knew he couldn't pass them as it was impossible to go above them or escape them with the amount of fuel that was left in the last tank. Now, if he takes some other direction, then he needs more fuel. So that risk he couldn't take because his fuel was, because it was a second tank and fuel was very less. So he could not take a turn and revert because he has to manage in that fuel. The amount of fuel was less. Now he couldn't pass them as it was impossible to go above them. Now situation was very critical. He couldn't turn because of less fuel, and if he enters in the storm, it may be a big accident also. So he became uneasy, he became uncomfortable. What should be done? Now, the right decision, what he thought was that I should fly back to Paris safely. But he said no. But that feeling, that excitement of reaching to his family was so much. He was overwhelmed by his wish to meet his family that he said, okay, fine, let us take the risk. Whatever will happen will happen. He so desperately wanted to be with his family and have that English breakfast he had been dreaming of all day. All day he was dreaming of a breakfast, and he said, no, I want that English breakfast with my family members. Now I cannot revert and I can't go back to Paris again, and I don't have enough fuel also. So I have to take the risk. So he decided to take the risk of not going back. Thus, he headed the plane right into the storm. Without thinking what could be the result, he took the risk and he headed the plane right into the storm. It was very dark because of the storm, that nothing was visible. It was black mountain. So nothing was visible outside the plane. He started losing control of the aeroplane. And finally, what happened, because he took the risk, so what happened now, he started losing control of the aeroplane. The compass and other instruments had stopped working. He lost contact with the control room, and because of the bad weather, what happened, the instruments of the plane also stopped working. He felt helpless. He felt very tensed, worried, and helpless. He couldn't understand how to react, what to do. He tried calling the Paris Control Agency who had helped him earlier, but he couldn't connect because of the weather. Now, the weather was so strong, the storm was so strong, and the weather conditions were so miserable that he couldn't contact the Paris Control Agency. And then, when everything failed, he couldn't understand what to do. He just thought of entering in the storm without thinking that what could be the consequences, and he took the risk. And when everything failed, there he saw a ray of hope. And what was that ray of hope? That ray of hope was another aeroplane. He felt relieved when he saw another pilot's face and willingness to help him escape the storm. And what happens when we are struggling through a phase all alone, and a single ray of hope, a single help from a person, maybe a stranger also, gives you so much relief. So he also felt relieved when he saw another pilot's face. He saw another aeroplane, and in that another aeroplane there was a pilot, and he just nodded him to follow him. And he thought, and he showed his willingness to help him, that okay, he showed his willingness that okay, yes, you just follow me, I will be taking you out of the storm, and willingness to help him escape the storm. He thought to himself that the other pilot was very kind. He thought that the other pilot was very kind, as he knew that he was lost and was trying to help him. He knew that he was lost. He knew that I have lost in the storm and I don't know which direction I may lead. So I don't have any other option than to follow this aeroplane. And a pilot of that aeroplane also nodded and showed his willingness that yes, he was ready to help him. He was helping him. So he just followed him blindly. He was lost, and and he understood that the other pilot was trying to help him, so he just followed him. The other pilot took his plane ahead of the narrator's aeroplane to make it easier for the narrator to follow him. The narrator followed him like an obedient child. Now, if you see the term obedient child, an obedient child always listens to whatever is being told to him. So narrator did not have any other option also. He has to follow him like an obedient child because he was lost in the storm. He didn't know what to do. He had no other option than to follow that plane and to follow that pilot. So the other pilot was ahead of him, and the narrator's aeroplane was at the back. Narrator was following him. He was so panicked. He was also panicked because there was very less fuel. The problem was the fuel was less. He couldn't take risk of doing anything else, of reverting, turning back, nothing. It was only then that he started coming out of the storm. And suddenly, what did he realize? That he was out of the storm and he could see the lights of the city. And he could see the runway to land his plane safely. And when he just followed that aeroplane, and when he followed the aeroplane, suddenly he saw that he was out of the storm and he could see the lights of the city and the runway where he could land his plane safely. Now, what is a runway? Runway is a track, the pathway on which the aeroplane lands. So he could see the runway to land his plane safely. When he turned to thank the other pilot, he realized that the plane that helped him had disappeared as soon as he came out of the storm. And he thought of showing his gratitude. He thought of saying thanks to the other pilot. But what did he see? He saw that the plane which took him out of the storm disappeared. There was no plane to be seen. So he was a little bit shocked. And what he did is, he did not know where he had landed, But after his landing, he left his plane and directly, straight away, he went into the control room and he asked that who is the other pilot, I want to meet him. To his utmost surprise, the lady informed him, the lady who was there in the control room, she said, there was no other plane in the sky. So he said, which pilot? Which plane you are talking about? Your plane was the only plane. There was no other plane in the sky except yours because of the bad weather. He was still more shocked. How is it possible a person has helped him coming out of the storm? And that plane and the pilot both have disappeared. So the lady in the control room said, what, which plane, which pilot you are talking about? Your plane was the only plane. And because of the bad weather, there was no other plane in the sky. He was left astonished with a lot of questions unanswered in his mind. Now, when any such situation occurs, it becomes difficult for us. Whether it was true, whether it was a dream, what was the reality? So things become too unbelievable. Now he was left astonished, he was surprised, and so many questions came in his mind which were unanswered. And so it was a mystery. Now, if we think, if we decide, if we talk about it, what could it be? Was there a real aeroplane, or was it his own imagination which was helping him to come out? So, this is a mystery. Now, what is the mysterious element in this chapter? The narrator is caught up in the storm clouds. All his instruments have stopped working. Now, these things, it creates mystery. Suddenly, when the weather was fine, everything was going on well. Suddenly, there was a stormy cloud, and he just enters in the cloud. All his instruments of the aeroplane stopped working. To make the matter worse, he also lost contact with the Paris control room. So these things could not be coincidence. There is a mystery in it. And in such bad weather, you cannot expect any other aeroplane also. And suddenly, in this bad weather, a black aeroplane appears on the scene from somewhere. And strangely enough, it has no lights on its wings. So these things create a mystery, a mysterious element in the story. The pilot of the black plane is guiding the narrator through the storm as if he knew that the narrator was lost in the storm. Now, this particular point that the pilot he saw towards the narrator, he nodded his head, he gave him sign that you just follow me. So, as if someone had intentionally come to help him. Now, something supernatural or unnatural is here. That in this storm, it was difficult for every human being to cross the storm. But this fellow, this pilot, comes in his plane and helps him, guides him to come out of the storm. So, this is also another mysterious element in the story. However, as soon as the narrator comes out of the storm, the black plane is disappeared. This is another mystery. So, this complete is a mysterious element in the story that the black plane disappears after coming out of the storm and it is not to be seen in the sky. And above all, when he goes and contacts the control room and asks the lady sitting in the control room about the another aeroplane and the another pilot, surprisingly she tells that there was no plane because of the bad weather and your plane was the only plane. And there was no plane, so obviously there will be no pilot. And the disappearance of the plane, it's so mysterious. When he asks about the pilot and the plane at the control room, he is informed by the lady that there was no other plane in the sky except his flight that night because of the bad weather. So these elements, they create a mystery in the story. Who was that fellow? Who was that pilot? Who was that plane? Whether the plane was truly over there or it was just an imagination of the narrator. So the poet, the author leaves certain things for the readers to assume or to believe. Yes. Now, what is the message behind this chapter? What is the author trying to say? The message in this chapter is we should not lose hope in life. Now, see, his fuel was less. If he would have returned, he would have faced problem. He had no other option, plus, that excitement of reaching home was also giving him motivation. Okay, it was giving him motivation. Now, what happens with you? Going home. Okay, wow, mama ne acha sa tasty food must be prepared by mama and we are going to have it. So that motivation is there to reach home soon. So similarly, he was also too much excited that, oh yes, now I'm going to have my breakfast with my family, so I have to reach home. So he took the risk of entering in the storm. He did not have any other option also because the fuel was less. So he did not lose hope, he did not panic, he just entered in the storm. And even in the first possible scenarios, we should be able to see light at the end of the tunnel. And it is very natural that yes, if we are going to the tough times, to the dark times, surely at the end of the dark times, there will be a light. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel. So we should always believe in that. Okay, we may be going through a tough time in our life, a tough phase in our life, but finally we are going to get light in our life. If we take risk and face challenges with grit, determination, and perseverance, we can face any storm and get rewarded with a rainbow. That means if we are facing a storm, we may be rewarded with a rainbow. Rainbow is what? Rainbow is a symbol of hope, symbol of livelihood, symbol of energy, happiness. So the Almighty sees everything, but at times He waits. He waits, He just checks our patience, He checks our tolerance, that whether we give up, whether we lose hope, or we just stand straight, stand affirm in the situations. So God is there, He is watching everything, but He waits for us to check our tolerance, our patience, our determinations, our perseverance, and our grit to face challenges. So, the author through this chapter is trying to give us a message that we should never lose hope. Plus, if you see, the moment he landed, he at once went to the control room to thank that another pilot. So that means you should not be ungrateful. You should show your gratitude to the people who helped you, the people who were there, who stood there beside you when you are in need. So you should show your gratitude to those people. At once he got down and he went and asked in the control room about the other pilot because he wanted to thank him. So that means you should show your gratitude, you should be thankful to the people who are always standing beside you, who have helped you in times of problems, who have helped you in times of your adversities. So I hope with this I come to the end of the chapter. I hope you have understood this chapter. Thank you and have a nice day.